Coming up today on That LTD Life, I'm going to try to create 30 days worth of social media content that goes across multiple platforms with a single prompt. How well is it going to do? Well, let's find out as I test Vocable AI, a new lifetime deal over at AppSumo. My name is Dave, and I review lifetime deals every single day of the week. If you haven't heard the news, I am back making content Monday through Friday, so make sure you get subscribed if you haven't already. If you're interested in finding the best lifetime deals to grow an online business without spending a lot every single month, you are in the right place. Let's get into it as I check out Vocable AI over at AppSumo. Now, this tool was actually recommended to me by a viewer, and a ton of people jumped on board, said they wanted to see a video. So if there's another lifetime deal out there that you want to see me review, definitely leave me a comment down below. And by the way, if you want to grab your very own copy of Vocable, you can follow along with this video, or maybe you make it to the end and think that looks great. I do have my AppSumo link in the description, and when you click that, it helps support this channel. All right, so I'm just going to cover the pricing right up front. Other people have commented that they don't really like when I cover pricing first in the video because it makes it feel like a sales video. That is definitely not my intention, but I think by establishing a value for the product, you can kind of gauge whether or not it's actually worthwhile. So here, very simple pricing, $79, you can discard that one. I don't think anybody's going to buy the $79 plan. It's really just there to entice you. What you want to do is go to tier 2 or tier 3. You can see here that a ton of features are not on tier 1. Things like collaboration, channel integrations, AI-powered campaigns. We only get one brand voice. If you move up to tier 2, yes, it's more money, but then you get all of the features and 5 brand voices. If you have a lot of brands you're working with, you can upgrade to unlimited. Tier 3, $319. Of course, you can keep the cost of that down by signing up for AppSumo Plus, which will knock off 10%. All right, I grabbed an AppSumo Tier 2 plan to make my video, and let's go ahead and walk through all of the features. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is set up a brand identity, and I can do this one of 2 different ways. So let's just click right over here where it says add your brand, although I could click in the left-hand sidebar under brand. Now, I can give it a URL, and it's gonna scan my site and try to come up with a brand identity from that, or if I prefer text, I can do that as well. So let's try both out here. I'm gonna try from a URL to begin with. And I'm actually interested in creating a campaign to advertise my course on using the Ghost CMS, a great platform for creating a blog. It's open source, just like WordPress. I released this course a couple of years ago, and I'm getting ready to relaunch the new version. Ghost 6 is going to be coming out very soon, and when it does, I plan to update my course. So it'd be great to get a content plan here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this URL. I'll paste it in over on Vocable, and we'll see how well it does. All right, so it says enter the URL. I've just pasted it in and I'll hit continue. Now this is kind of interesting because is it gonna look for the name of the website, clientamp.com? Is it gonna look at the sales page that for like a product? If you had an e-commerce store, could you create content around a single item? We're gonna find out here exactly how it handles this in a moment. You know, the concept of brand identity usually doesn't tie into a specific product because most brands have more than one product. All right, so it did grab onto the product name here, called it Ghost Mastery, and then it went ahead and gave it a description, core messaging, the audience who it'll appeal to, which I think is fairly accurate, the value proposition, tone of voice, industry, keywords and themes, topics. So that's pretty good. It's going ahead and looking at the sales page, the different topics that are included in the product. And then I could add additional topics here if I like. There is a spot to add an image for your brand right up here. I just uploaded my headshot so that we kind of have something to look at. All right, so everything's looking pretty good here. I can go ahead and hit save. And then let's just revisit. I imagine that if I go to create a brand new brand and don't include a URL, we'll basically just be filling this in by hand, this same form. So let's double check that. We're gonna create a new brand. And now I've got a new option. I can view and edit my existing brand. Or if I choose the last option, create new brand from text, yeah, it just gives me that same field blank. I can fill it all up by myself, which looks like a lot of work, to be honest. AI has already made us so lazy. The thought of filling out this simple form is like overwhelming. Where is my AI assistant to do it for me? So I'm going to revert back to the brand that it created for me, and let's see how it does generating content based on that. So what I want to do is go back over to the dashboard right here where I can choose the platform that I'm going to have the content created for, and then I can give it a simple prompt here with a goal, and I want to select my brand right down below here. Now, just so this is totally clear, the brand is going to be limited by the AppSumo plan that you choose. So remember, tier 1 only gets one brand voice. and tier 2 gets 5, tier 3 gets unlimited. So keep that in mind. If you have a lot of individual products or distinct brands that you want to represent, you'll probably need a higher tier plan. So it does say up here I can choose one channel for 30 days of platform specific content or select multiple channels for a coordinated campaign. So I'm going to go ahead and choose YouTube, email, Facebook, blog, and Twitter. All right, and then it says create your content strategy. And there's a bit of placeholder text here. It says share a bit more about your goals, content themes, and target audience. I'll craft a custom plan that truly speaks to your brand. So I've got to write something here in order for it to actually generate some content. All right, I literally just had verbal diarrhea here. I just said, I want to promote my course on the Ghost publishing system. It's a great platform for blogging, membership sites, and email newsletters. It's an alternative to Substack, Patreon, and blogging on WordPress. All right, so I'm going to choose a campaign goal, which is going to be how about sales conversions? Conversions always work. Then we'll do English, and I've got my brand selected here. Let's hit generate and see what I can come up with. All right, so it says campaign successfully created, but it's still generating the plan over here. All right, it looks like it's done generating the plan. This is honestly a little confusing because it says happy with your initial plan. You can click to view content or start creating your content. So I can either boost the plan or view the content. Let's view the content first. And then it says title can't be blank. All right, I just clicked the back button and we'll try going back in again to see if there's actually any content here. So I'm under campaigns and here is the campaign I created with the goal of sales conversion. I'm gonna click on this and now I've got a list view, a calendar view, and a Kanban view, although there's nothing in there yet. So it looks like I need to click this boost plan button and now it is generating the plan. So perhaps it didn't actually create anything the first time around and I'm just redoing it. That's kind of what it seems like right now. All right, now we're starting to get some content coming in. We've got an email newsletter, a case study, a guide, a Twitter thread, a YouTube script, a blog post. There is a ton of different, these even Medium articles, a ton of different options for me. Let's go ahead and just check out this first email newsletter. All right, it actually just took me into another view after the content was all generated. So I'm in this list view. I can also view it as a Kanban or calendar. I can start to schedule all of this stuff out. In fact, it did a lot of that for me. Not everything. There's a few things that don't have published dates, but by and large, everything is already all scheduled out. And I can actually view the content over here by clicking on this view content button. So I wanted to check out that newsletter. I was just saying that when the screen refreshed. So I'm going to click view content and it's going to generate the content right here. And this is the subject line. Here's your private invitation to join the 317 creators who've mastered Ghost this month. And it's writing the email for me right in front of my eyes. It looks pretty good as well. I haven't read through everything, but overall, I like the formatting. It looks like a marketing email, which is kind of fine because I think that primes people that, hey, this is something that can help you, but is also going to cost you some money. Yeah, overall, that looks pretty nice. All right, I scrolled up and then when I did that, it just loaded it into kind of like a surfer SEO kind of content writing view where I can actually look at how the content's scoring. Now, if this is an email newsletter, it's not really going to be ranking. So some of these things are going to be based more on just how the content communicates, but I can see based on their ratings that it's all pretty good. It's got a average accessibility, but everything else, they're ranking it to be pretty good, although they wrote it. So you can only take that with a grain of salt. Now, I did think the email looked a lot better as it was kind of writing it than it does in their editor because it had like nice different colored backgrounds and everything. Whereas I'm looking at it right here and everything looks kind of bunched together, like there's not spaces between paragraphs and things. So if I were to publish this, I click on publish, it's going to show me that I don't have any connected channels right now. So we probably should get some channels connected up. But before we do that, let's see if there's any way that I can get that formatting back and maybe just copy and paste it into my email newsletter application. So if I click on these triple dots over here, there is the option to either save as or export as. So let's say I exported it as a plain text or a RTF text document. Let's do that. And for some reason, the RTF file cannot be opened on my Mac. So let's try that again. Let's go ahead and export. This time, I'll just choose PDF and see what that looks like. Now, obviously, copying and pasting from a PDF, not really as easy as it would be if it were, say, in Markdown, but I do get the nice formatting here so I could recreate it in whatever newsletter builder I was using with the nice blue buttons and the callouts with the little, borders. I think that overall looks pretty good, a lot more readable than it looks like in the editor. Overall, I really like the email. It's hitting a lot of the points that I would make if I were to write an email in this vein. Like it's talking about complete ownership, direct relationships, automated systems. It's got some nice scarcity here, 48-hour sale, and then gives you bullet points of exactly what you're going to receive. So the writing is fairly good as we've come to expect from AI. It's not going to be absolutely amazing. I'd recommend still spending some time with it, but it's within the realm of what you'd expect to see. There's a lot of creative ideas in here as well, like this Twitter thread, tired of platform algorithms killing your reach. So the idea would be that, if you're only posting on threads or on who's only posting on threads, let's be real. If you're only posting on Instagram, if you're only posting on YouTube, well, you're basically at the whim of those algorithms. And if they don't like you that day or that week or that month, you're not going to get a lot of reach. Whereas if you build your own platform, your own list, well, you can reach out to them whenever you need. So that's basically the concept of this thread. I can go ahead and edit the prompt here as I like. So if you just click on the name of the brief over here, you'll see the prompt that it's going to use and the keywords to use, any custom instructions you want to add in. There's also some advanced options down here where you can customize it a little bit further in terms of giving it a due date and priority, things like that. But when you actually want to see the content, well, you'll just go over here to hit view content like we did before. And that's when the AI actually kicks in and starts to write the thread. All right, so it went ahead and wrote the Twitter thread, but I will say that it didn't format it all that nicely. Like it's kind of hard to tell where one post in the thread starts and another one ends. So like I would assume it would be like right here and then right here, probably every big period. I'd want to leave a new post in the thread essentially, but they could definitely do a better job of making that more clear and really breaking it up, maybe even just labeling it, thread number 1, 2, 3, something like that. The editor itself feels really nice though. So we can select text here. And let's say I wanted it to rewrite this phrase. I can go ahead and use the little AI and just say, oh, how about we, I don't know, expand this. And it's going to go ahead and use the AI to expand that a little bit. So very much like a Jasper kind of content writing tool. There's the general score over here I talked about briefly. There's also a SEO score, but that is not available right now. And the AI optimization is also not available yet. So both coming soon for SEO and AI. Okay, I'm going to go look at the integrations in a moment, but I just wanted to bring up the fact that we do have collaboration right over here where I can share this document with another member of my team or a client or anyone who I want to be able to access it. I can send them either full access, editing access, or commenting access. And that brings me to comments, which are right over here. So if you have someone commenting on your document, you'll see a list of the comments over to the side. We can also favorite the different articles, like the ones that we're working on currently or something like that. You can give them a little star, and then they will show up over in your library as starred, so you can easily find the more important articles. Now, I would like to see maybe an option to filter out everything that's not favorited, or maybe even just move these up to the front. You can see I've got 2 pieces of content and the favorited one is second, where I'd probably want that one to be first. That's why I favorited it. But nitpicking here, that just would make that feature a lot more usable. In terms of integrations, we've got WordPress, Webflow, Wix, LinkedIn, Facebook, and X. So it'll be able to post to any of those platforms. Anything else you're going to create using this tool, you'll have to just copy and paste manually. Not really that big of a deal, but if you're looking for kind of an all-in-one content generation and social media scheduling tool, this isn't quite there yet, but we're getting pretty darn close. A few other features to take a look at here. There is the Ideate tool, which basically you enter in a subject, like they give the example of podcast episodes about AI and design, and then it's going to go ahead and ideate upon that and give you more content ideas. So let's try this out. I gave it the prompt online courses to learn specific WordPress plugins. I'll hit generate and see what ideas it gives me. And it comes back with a bunch of pretty good ideas: WooCommerce, advanced custom fields, Yoast, Elementor, and so on. So if I wanted to create some content based around these ideas, I can either add it to my planner or just start a draft right inside of this little ideate tool. So I'll choose start draft. It's going to pop me open to the editor and I could begin creating utilizing AI as I write. So I can add a new block, ask for AI assistance right over here, and you get the idea. The other tool to take a look at is their templates section, where if you're trying to come in and do something very specific, maybe you don't want to have it generate 30 days worth of content, but you do need some help with how about a news article? You can click right over here, enter in the information about the news article, choose a target audience, set the tone, the style of the article, and then go ahead and proceed to the next screen where it's actually going to generate the content. Now, unfortunately, almost nothing in this news article that was generated is accurate. WordPress 6.8 is not codenamed ISA. So there's just a lot of room for improvement in terms of that particular feature that I happened to click on and decide to generate an article. I think this could be solved quite easily by using an LLM that has web search capabilities built in, and then it could actually generate some usable news articles for you. But yeah, with anything AI, you're definitely going to want to check it for accuracy, especially if you're putting your name and reputation on the line. I mean, overall, I think Vocable is pretty cool. It gave me a ton of different content ideas, and even if I didn't use them all, I've got some things to think through here about how I might promote my next course or latest podcast episode or whatever it is that you are trying to promote. There are some kind of weird things though, like the deadlines that it set. Well, there's this one here that is for 2030. Like everything else is basically within that time frame. A few didn't get set, and then there's one that's way out in the future. There's a few other little glitches along the way, like an occasional error message, or how about when I generated the first plan and it was basically empty, I needed to regenerate it again. But overall, it's not like it's a confusing platform. When something doesn't work, you just basically reload it and it solves its own problem. So I like that quite a bit. And for the price, I do think it is a fairly good value. My one concern would be the overall AI LLM under the hood. There's no way that I see to connect up your own key, and that means we're basically left with whatever LLM they're willing to provide us. And if we're paying once, well, our options might be limited. So I'd love to see a BYOK option and then just support for as many LLMs as their developers can handle. Also, this is just a weird nitpick, but they've got rounded corners in the web app so we can see a little white background. I don't know why that just bothers me. Just make it solid because you can't round the corners in my square web browser. Small thing, but I don't know. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Now, just yesterday, I reviewed Focus Keyword Finder, which is actually kind of similar to Vocable in some ways. The idea with Focus Keyword Finder is you'd enter in a main topic, and then it would compare the top ranked sites on that topic and generate an article to try to beat them. So I could see a lot of people coming in saying, well, which one should I get? Should I get Vocable or should I get Focus Keyword Finder? And I'd say that they both have very specific audiences, where if you're trying to do SEO content marketing to try to outrank your competitors, well, then Focus Keyword Finder is definitely going to be better suited. But if you're trying to do social media promotion across a lot of different platforms, that's where Vocable is going to be a lot stronger. Overall, I do think Vocable is a very strong product, and it's going to help a lot of businesses to create content across multiple platforms. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6.8 out of 10. It's going to do it for this video. If you've enjoyed the content, make sure you click my AppSumo link down below before you buy anything at AppSumo. It definitely supports this channel and allows me to make these videos every single day. Also, consider leaving me a comment, if not just for the algorithm. It's very much appreciated. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with another LTD review. I'll see you there.